I don't remember how low I had that before. Yeesh. Nope. Close that. Alright. Nope. Oh, God. Alright, so much to do. So much Smash Bros. To play. We're not doing any of it yet. You know, usually I save this for the middle, but because tonight we're doing something a little bitty different, we're doing it right now. So, let's kill that. Is it this one? Boom, it's that one. This is Smash Bros. I promise you. I promise. It's just, I got something else I want to do tonight. So, Smash and Chat has kinda, sorta been building up, like, really bad. I think there's almost 30 things on the docket, and I couldn't stream last week. I was busy. I'm technically busy today, but I'm being lazy. Tonight, tomorrow I get back to work. But, taking that out. Tonight is showtime. How does that song go? I wouldn't even know. Tonight, though, so I need to get caught up in Smash and Chat, or Splat and Chat, or whatever. I know there's a Splatfest next week, but I'm sneakingly suspecting a Nintendo Direct sometime in the next week. I know we're kind of split on it. There were some leaks that said, oh, it's going to happen this week. There were a bunch of leaks that also said, there were a bunch of people who were like, no, it's not going to happen. That's crazy talk. It didn't happen, but I still think one's coming eminently. Plus, I don't always do them Splat and Chats on Splatfest. I mean, we've broken it a few times, especially for Smash Bros. But I need to get this out of the way. The Nindies Direct, the PlayStation stuff, Labo VR came out today. Haven't played it, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Labo VR was both announced and released since the last Splat and Chat. That's how long this has been. And it's only been like a month. March was very busy. In the beginning of April, we've gotten like 3 Avengers trailers since then. We got a Star Wars trailer today. Even though, well, we'll talk about that like probably at the latter end. But today we're doing the Amiibo tournament. If you've ever seen a previous episode of Smash and Chat, we've done Amiibo. We've done one with Ridley. We've done one with, where is it? We did one with Piranha Plant, right? I usually, because I collect these things. And the other reason I decided to do this today was Amiibo Day. So so what we're going to be doing is I've got this. It's a very full box. Some of it's in order, a lot of it's just chaos. Usually I have them displayed on a shelf, but my shelf is really dusty, and I am out of room, so I'm taking everything down. I'm going to be dusting it, then I'm putting them all back. All 68 of them. It's... I think Ken is number 69, so... take that how you will. But, so, it was Amiibo release day, so we've got... Young Link, I can actually just kill that. Young Link, yeah, pretty standard. He seems like, compare him to like the other Links, he's very big. Like, they clearly compensated for size because he's Young Link. He's about the same size as Toon Link, maybe, but he feels very big. We got Daisy, who looks a lot like Princess Peach. It basically is Princess Peach, just different color palette and whatnot. Like, a lot of it's the same. Yeah. I already had a Daisy, but, you know, I gotta have the Smash line. And then the other one that released today was Ken. Yeah, no, I like him. I like how... Sure. Again, if I wasn't a stupid collector who was an insane person, I probably wouldn't have bought him, but I'm an insane person, so that's what I did. And then the final two, so if you know, I've been a collector for a long time now. But I didn't start at the very beginning. The first Amiibo I got was... See if I can see her off of the top. I cannot, but she's buried somewhere in this box. Oh, boom, right there. Oops. Rosaluma. Rosaluma was my first Amiibo. Wave 3, February 2015. That was like 4 years ago, and because I think Smash released in like October in November, because 2 games of 2014. That feels like it was very long ago, but I think that matches up more or less. So I started here. So any of the rares before Rosaluma, the Holy Trinity, the Forsaken Trinity, Little Mac, Captain Falcon, and Pit. They eventually got reprints, but it took forever. But other stuff in Rosalina's trilogy, the Four Horsemen, impossible for me to find. It took me forever to find Shulk. Was Ike a Four Horsemen? Ike later was exclusive to GameStop, but he was at some point. Rosaluma was one of the Four Horsemen, exclusive to Target. Meta Knight was exclusive to Best Buy. Shulk was exclusive to GameStop. And I don't remember who the other Four Horsemen was. Out in that wave was also DDD, who I don't think was one, even though he was stupid rare. Bowser came out, Toon Link, and Zelda was the previous wave. So maybe Sheik? I wouldn't be surprised if it was Sheik. A lot came out in wave 3. I think the most to come out in a single wave was wave 4, which had Robin, Lucina, and a bunch of other crap in it. Jigglypuff was Target exclusive. Bowser Jr. was wave 6. Waves are complicated. I used to know all this stuff by heart. And then I quit. I quit after wave 6, and then I came back. And then I quit again. I quit after wave 6. Then I came back. Then I quit again. And, ugh. But I'm telling you all of this because I've always been missing 3. Today it's down to 1. First one, the bane of my existence. Wii Fit Trainer. Wave 1, I wasn't in the game. Just never... she may have gotten 1 reprint. I don't remember it. It may have been around the same time as Wave 3. Never saw it. Never got one. Never paid for scalpers. The only Amiibo I ever paid scalpers for was Shulk. I paid scalpers for Shulk. Like an extra, like... God, it probably was $8 with shipping. Ugh. It was probably 20 in total. I did it. I did it, though. And then I found him, like, 3 years later. Yeah. But yeah, this has been maybe the hardest one to find. But I finally got it. I got it at Best Buy. Oh. The other one, which is either tied for the hardest... Again, these last 3 have been killing me. But this... Meta Knight. I never had Meta Knight. I think it got a reprint at some point, but I don't remember it. I don't think the other one I'm missing did either. The only one I'm missing is... Let me just see if I can find it at a cursory glance. Is that it? No, that's Sonic. It's somewhere in this monstrosity. Oh, right there. The only one I'm missing. King Dedede. This is the Kirby variant. I don't even know if they ever reprinted the original. I heard, actually, I did hear a few stores got, like, one out of nowheres, but none of the local ones did. So I don't have a King Dedede. That's the only one I'm missing. That, and of course, like, the Player 2 or the Famicom Rob. Ones I don't give a shit about. Other than that, I'm now just one away. And of course, I'm just talking about Smash Wave. Other waves I mostly don't give a shit about. I have a few from Zelda. I have a few from Guardian. I have most of the Splatoon. But for the most part, I try not... I originally came in just to get my main. At the time, Rosaluma was my main. She was the one I played. That's all I wanted. But my mains were super rare. That's what got me into it, is that my mains were rare, so I thought I'd go all in, and I could have bought so many games with money I spent on these figures, man. I could have bought so many. Luckily, I think at the time, Toys R Us had like a buy one, get one free, or something like that. So, like, at least 10... maybe even 15 of these figures were just from that. My Toys R Us had a good stock. But after that, this was somewhere in wave 3 or 4. So many games. I have to give... This is why I mostly bought indie. Luckily, there wasn't much on Wii U, so I could spend money on Amiibo. And luckily, I've been only buying indie games. Like, I didn't get Yoshi this month because I got these things. I was going to buy Yoshi. Nope, that didn't happen. I hear Box Boy is $10 though. That's a price I can work with. Yeah, I'm a collector. I'm a shill to Nintendo. What can you say? But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's open them in the order. I'm also clearly an out-of-box collector. Being an I was an OOB collector for a few weeks, and then I just couldn't do it. Got a shirt on and everything? Yeah. Okay, good. And welcome to the web stream. Feeding the squirrel? Yeah. That. Okay, there we... Ah, God, I ripped the box. Oh, that's not pretty. Look at that. Ah. Okay. Oh, that's pretty easy. I have no idea what I'm going to do with all these boxes. Young Link. Focus. Focus. Yeah, no, it's very... I know Amiibo's got more expensive, which is killing me right now. But the quality is really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Can I at a cursory glance fine-tune Link? Yes, I can. I do want to compare the two. So he's a tad bit taller. Not really, actually. He just, because he's young Link, he feels very big. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're basically about the same. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, no. Wouldn't have bought it normally. Focus. But, next up, Daisy. A little better. It looks a lot like Peach. I heard some people were saying there was like a size disparity, but it doesn't seem like it. And I know there's not a size disparity between Ryu and Ken. Like, that one's fairly obvious. Like, they look exactly the same size, which is the right way to do it. Yeah. it's Daisy. I already got one. I got the new Super Mario Brothers series because I was never expecting her to make it into Smash. Nobody was. I thought Waluigi honestly had a greater chance. But, what do I know? Can I find Ryu at a curse Ryu, Shulk, Little Mac. Is this it? Oh, boom. Perfect. Can you see the squirrel? Oh. Ooh. I don't have nails right now. There we go. I heard it chipping earlier. It was chip chapping. Yeah, go ahead. What?
This one should fight.
That what? Did you get why I asked you?
Yeah, you're doing a fighting thing.
I'm doing a tournament. Because I got all these new suckers to show off. Yeah. How do I put it? I know it's pretty easy to position, but the fact that it looks like they're facing off toss the toe. Yeah, no.
Suggestion, I got one.
What?
You get another one, I got you.
You got a name?
Yeah.
I need to name all of them.
Like, actual, names?
Yeah, just give them names.
Why don't you name them, Ken Ryu?
You know what I need? Nicknames, you nerd.
No.
Old school. I almost bought her from a scalper multiple times. I'll admit, I almost cracked several times. But, nope. My waiting paid off. Oh, perfect. I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, I'm just missing DDD, and then I'm free, man. We're probably almost done with fighters, and then throughout the entire day, I was like, oh, wait, Richter doesn't have a figure yet, Dark Samus doesn't have a figure yet, Chrom doesn't have a figure yet. So many characters without figures, plus all 5 of the DLC. I'm not going to be done for another year or two. Incineroar doesn't have a figure. I mean, we've seen Pichu and whatnot, all the Pokemon trainers, Snake, Simon, but we haven't seen any of those guys. Joker, whatever that's going to be. That's got to be soon. That's got to be by the 26th, right? I hope it's before that. If it was next week, that'd be cool. It's going to drop whenever a direct is, even if it's a micro direct. Yeah. The boot thing is weird. I'll admit, this is one of the weirder pieces of plastic to hold the figure up. But what are you gonna do? I'm glad I finally have her, man. This was the bane. Even more than Meta Knight and DDD, who I feel haven't gotten restocks, that was the one that always bugged me the most. I'll admit that. Then I almost had a Meta Knight for really cheap on eBay, but then it fell through in the last minute. It was stupid. Yeah. So the thing about Meta Knight, and the reason I wasn't going to do this tonight, was I wanted to unbox these. Oh, that's even worse, man. I wanted to do these all on stream, But my Meta Knight, I pre-ordered from Target on like a few days ago. But it wasn't supposed to get here until next week. They were telling me, oh, it's not going to be here until I want to say they were saying the 16th? So I was like, oh, that sucks, but what am I going to do, right? I go into Target to pick up... I pick up all my Amiibo at Target. I might as well say. Target has been my number one supplier since Wave 4. I mean, yes, there are some exclusives that I couldn't get at Target, but if it's non-exclusive, I've been almost able to get everything at Target, with the exception of Toys R Us once. That was Wave 6. Everything else, Target. Target has been my king, man. And it's nice with the more recent waves, they put them up at around 1 a.m. to midnight. So I just go in at that time, buy them all then, and then when the store opens in the morning, I just go and pick them up. Super easy, super convenient. Target makes my life a breeze, man. Especially because it seems like people don't care as much. Because when I went to Target, I walked past the Amiibo section just to kind of see what they still had left. This was like 2 hours after the store opened, because Best Buy doesn't open until 10. And I had to go get this. So I was like, I'll wait 2 hours, because I have everything pre-ordered. They still had they still had one of everything, man. Except they may not have had a Daisy. Most of my Targets either only got like one Daisy or didn't even get one. But yeah, and I pre-ordered this one at a different Target, but then I'm like, oh, it's not going to come. I was like, maybe they'll have one that they got today and they'll set it aside for me. You know, that would have been nice. But then, and it just didn't happen. Then like 3 or 4 hours ago, probably a little more than that, I get a notification from Target, an email that's like, hey, your Amiibo's ready to pick up. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just go in and do it. And that's when I decided to do this. I wasn't going to do an Amiibo tournament originally. That wasn't the plan, but So yeah, Meta Knight, man, it's cool. I've had the Kirby Meta Knight forever, since it came out. But it's nice to finally have the real one. One of the ones that have eluded me for so long. Yeah, that's just me bragging. Bragging about all my Amiibo. 5 more today, because I still had that out, so that's why I was getting that. And, yeah. I will never be satisfied. They don't make me happy or anything, but much like a cocaine addiction, or an Oreo addiction, or a gambling addiction, this is my life. I know, and I am glad that the easier it's gotten, the less people who are doing it, because some people did it just for the hunt, and like the competitive nature, and the scalping, and the tension. I didn't. I just did it because I'm addicted. So it's become a lot easier, man. And I think the last time we did this, when we unboxed K. Rool and Ice Climbers, was easy. This time was easy. I think it's going to be smooth. I mean, it's mostly been smooth sailing since Wave 7. Wave 6 was actually pretty easy to get. The other Holy Trinity was Greninja. That was it. We went from Target. It was me and a group of people. And we went from Target over to Toys R Us, which opened 2 hours later, and waited there. We were like 30th in line, because some people decided to stay out at Toys R Us, but we wanted Kirby and whatnot first. That was the other Holy Trinity. But yeah, Wave 6, which was Toys R Us, Bowser Jr., I think, who's also exclusive to Target, was super easy to find. But we just didn't know it because we were so used to the hell of Wave 1 through 4, and kind of 5 was Best Buy and Amazon exclusive. Wave 5 was weird. They became weird after 6, honestly. And then technically I'm still, like, I don't have a Famicom Rob, I don't have a Bayonetta Player 2, and I don't have a Cloud Player 2. I had ample chance to get Cloud Player 2 at Best Buy. I just couldn't pull the trigger. And I'm kind of considering pulling the trigger on Bayonetta. I mean, part of me is like, yeah, and they're gonna make more Famicom Rob, presumably. But then, when does it end, man? When does it end? But that's been enough of that. Let's get back to freaking Smash Bros. I left this like forever ago. We have a lot of characters to register. I'll admit, I have dozens of these suckers. I think it's... I want it... Like I said, I think it's 68. It may be more than that. It may be less than that. But we'll find out. So I think it's in Volt. Now, most of these guys have never been registered. I think that's important to say. Is it not in... Is it... Oh, it's Games and More. Huh. Okay. Let's start off with our newbies. Yep. Enter a nickname for this amiibo. Daisy. I'm gonna have to think of a lot of stupid nicknames. I don't really have any traditional naming scheme. Oh, with this. Yep. All right. I like the black gloves, admittedly. Yeah, I like the black gloves. None of this matters. We'll just enter them all in the tournament. Which, we're probably going to spend like half an hour just doing this. That'll be, I'm going to be honest, this is going to take a while. You know, we may just, I'll see how many we get done by an hour, the hour mark. Ken. You know, I was just naming Ken. Or, I'm trying to think, what's the Star Bomb? Is there a Star Bomb reference in there? Ryu versus Ken. I'm trying to think of a nickname he calls him. I can't think of anything. We'll just call him Ken for now, because I can't think of anything better. If we're just calling him Ken, let's stick with classic Ken. I don't think I've ever played as Ken or Ryu. No, I probably played as Ryu when he was released. But that's it. Yep, let's go. I don't know if I... Let's go Babby Link. Or... Babby. Ah. Let's actually emphasize the A. Babby. Or, no, wait. B-A-B-E. Babby. I know it can be just spelled baby, but... Look, did I write babe? Whatever, who cares? Dark Link. Now, which one looks the... let's just go Dark Link. Bab. Alright. I think anyone that has, like, levels on it already, we're just gonna, like, reset. Okay. No, that's not clever enough. WTF. What? Oh, you suck, Nintendo. Oh, you suck. I know they probably also thought of this, but, you know. Nope, I'll take it. I will take it. I'm gonna be honest. I do not. I love that. I love that they had a choice of a character who was both male and female, and they actually chose the female. The only other example is Splatoon. Robin, Corrin. There's probably others. Now, all the male. I do not care for the male. Let's go with the red. I do not care for the. I like the joke that female Corrin is actually Lucina's mother. That was a detail that I thought was kind of neat that they never, that like they could have done something with, but instead they chose it to make it the female. Metal Knight. I know it's not perfect, but roll with me. This is gonna take forever. That one. I do like the Galactonite one, though. Okay. 5 down. Who knows how many to go. We might as well get this one out of the way. Data has written... Manage Amiibo. Oh, this was Mario Party. Oh my god, really? Mario Party 10? I don't even remember that. I used... Oh, did I use the... I used one of these two. I can't remember if it was the red and white, or the red and pink, or the white and red. It's probably this one. Same name. Yep. Starlass. One of my only slightly clever names. Okay, let's just start picking. Yep. Oh god, is that it? Is it Shuckle? Shuckle? I think that's it, the Pokemon. Shuckle. Shulk. Of course. I'm going with this. That still makes me laugh. I probably spelled Shuckle wrong. That would not surprise me. Oh my god, that was what my Mii looked like. You know, I'm fine with starting from scratch. Too long. Yes. I'm fine with resetting it. Honestly, if I find, if I find most of these, hey, I got a thing. How do I I know I reset it, but... nickname /owner. Just make it my modern self. And, you know what I'm naming this one. Yep. There's a few that I'm naming after, like, friends and whatnot. What did I name him after last time? Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Croc. Oh, yeah, Crocogildy. Is there a way to... No. Are you sure you want to quit? No. Is there... Oh, right there. LRX. Yeah. I like the name still, Crocogildy. I'm just trying... I think everyone should be on an even playing field. So I'm assuming I get gifts for reading Amiibo that have been scanned already. Okay, so we're also resetting this one. My most competent Amiibo right now in Smash. Everything. Let's go with this one. There's a method to my madness. Actually, lighter color. I'm actually gonna go with the blue. Yep. Have I not done Inkling yet? Huh. I guess I didn't. Huh. Between these three... Let's go with the Nerd Kid. I know there's probably a way where I can just like do them all one after another, but too much work. I might also, because my Amiibo spend most of their time on shelves, I might as well say they are very dusty. Oh, duh. Can you get it just by the name? Should be super obvious. And we gotta go with green. this one. Start from scratch. Yes. Yes. Keeping the name, though. Name's great. Let's go with the lightest blue. Yeah, whatever, Sanic. I'll admit, some of these I give super obvious names, because that's half the battle, you know? I want to do Rob Bob the Corn Cob, but that's too... Rob... No, I don't have enough space. Bob... Cob. Yeah, I wish I could get more space. Rob Bob the Corn Cob. Let's go. I mean, we're naming it after the corn cob, so we might as well. I'm just thinking the real Roy. Yep. There's a reason I picked Bowser Jr. I don't even remember naming that one. I'll fully admit. Nope, I do not remember that. Yep. Can you get it? That's a good mix for me. Oh yeah, let's smite. 5, 6, 7, 8. 16 so far. Yep, not a subtle one. Honestly, I like the white. Honestly, Palantine is one of my favorite figures. I like the detail. It's just a nice figure, man. No. I could, I'm probably not even spelling it right, but... That was obvious. Come on, guys. Another one with a giant leg, like where the leg stand takes up. Like, massive amount. Just goes all the way up. I guarantee this one has a name already. Start from scratch, yes. Ooh, yeah, I called him Starman, didn't I? Oh, yeah. I think this is the Starman colors. I just picked a random robot master at the time. Oh yeah, I called them Joy-Cons, didn't I? Have I reset everything from the last stream? I feel like I have. At least at this point.
Oh no, I haven't done it for a long time.
Oh yeah. I never even got him past level 1. Oh my god. It's a funny joke though. Sword fighter. Just gonna use the one we already have. Yep, it's me. I'm turning it into me. Oh, wait. No. I should change that lonk. I know I could do something goofy or stupid, but who cares? Yep. And it's the female variant because I don't actually have the male one. The female one's so much cooler. I'm surprised I don't have it registered, honestly, in the previous one. It seemed like something I would have done. There's one in particular I'm looking for. There she is. Yep. This is the closest to what I want. Yeah, actually, that's a lot better than I was expecting. Let's go for that one. Char Lizard. I guess that's what I called it. Customize. Yeah. I'm naming it after a friend who main Charizard. What can I say? I actually gave her a Charizard for her birthday. One of the Charizard Amiibos. I went and found one for her. I did it like a month in advance, I'll admit. I think, based on time, I don't think we're gonna get past 32. I mean, I'll see what I can do, but. And again, there's a few I'm looking for. I'm mostly just pulling them out at random. Actually, where is she? I was like, this one's named after someone specific. So let's just go with it. I have some weird Miis on my console, I'll admit that. A lot of them are for jokes and whatnot. I hope we get another Tomodachi Life one day. See, right there. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15? 20, 25, so, oh god. Actually based on someone I knew. I think he used this one all the time. God, we have gone in an hour, and I haven't even gotten to anything. I know I could be talking about it, but I'm way more focused on the names than I would be anything else. I don't have a good name. Yeah, I like that. Let's just go with the traditional. I mean, I'm making an Iron Man joke after all. I might as well. You know, up until like a few hours ago, when I was thinking about all those amiibos and like ones that haven't been released, especially the Echo Fighters, I had just forgotten that Dark Samus was a character in this game. I'm looking for one in particular. Yeah, there it is. A Kerbuffer. Is that what I named this one? I don't remember naming like half of these guys. Just gonna call him M, named after a friend again. This one. Okay, I think we have 3 more. You might as well. Oh, it's an Oshawott. I'm surprised we haven't gotten anything from Pokemon. You know? Like, I know we still... Koro's eventually gonna come out with Leak. Probably. I think soon. It's just a matter of time. So let's just do 2 more. I have dozens more that we could do. Let's do this one. This took me way longer than I was expecting to. Yep, delete. I bet this one's named Patch. Yep, I can see the future. And then one more. We could do anyone. I still have over half of this box. I feel like I've barely made a dent in this thing. Where's the upside down one? Oh, wow. No, definitely wrong. Let's just do this one. Yep, start from scratch. Yes. Do want to use that to myself. So this isn't actually the Smash Yoshi. This is my Yarn Yoshi. I have a pink one. So, yeah. My Yoshino. Which is ironic, because Yoshino's colors are white, blue, and, what's that other one? White, blue, and green. And yet, I named it after the pink one. Okay, let me go. Give me 1 second. Oh, if it wasn't obvious an hour in, I am 100% stealing this from RT Games. That's just totally what happened. I know he actually did them all in like a 64 tournament, but I'm not crazy. We got everyone I wanted in. I mean, I wanted Lucario maybe. And, you know, I wanted to do Mana and Kira, but I think Kira mains Pac-Man, but I don't know who Mana mains. Or, I mean, I know Mana mains Pac-Man and Mario. Check them out on Twitter. They're 2 of my favorite artists. So the max is 32. Number of CPUs also 32. Let's do a 2-point tournament. Let's do 3 stock, 1 win. Sure, I'm fine with that. And the finals will be a best 2 out of 3. Do I have to do... I was like, can I just, like, go one at a time? But nope. We have to do them all one at a time. Okay, let me pull up my first topic, whatever it is. We'll start our topics while talking about this. So, going back about a month, we started off with the King Zell's, so they're the guys who are doing the Halo, Infinite Collection? At least I think that's them. Or the Halo Master Chief Collection. And they kinda, maybe, sorta put out this rumor that the Halo Master Chief Collection might be coming to Switch. I mean, we haven't heard anything from it since. I'm not expecting to hear anything from it till E3. But it's a rumor they put out nevertheless. Which is interesting. Honestly, we'll get to Cuphead in a little bit. But after Cuphead, I think anything's possible. Personally, I'm rooting for the Banjo-Kazooie collection. Oh, and of course, Ori Pori Pudding and Pie, and Ori and the Wimble Bimble, obviously. Obviously, I think both of those should, I could have named, K. Rool Thanos. But, obviously, I'm expecting those two. Those two are super obvious. Other than that, I think anything goes. Like, and I mean anything goes. But that's the one I personally want. I don't know if I'm picking up Cuphead. Probably not because of Amiibo. I mean, I don't think it's like 20-25 bucks, but still. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. God, I got a lot of these. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to get the Master Chief Collection on Switch. I would probably buy it just for, what is it? The Halo, or, Halo 2, which is the one I have the fondest memories of. Halo 2 is just, it was a game I used to go over to my friend's house and play on the original Xbox. So much fun. He moved away, but, God, was Halo 2 fun. Yeah, I'd be down for a Master Chief Collection. I'm not expecting it, admittedly, but it'd be cool. Castle Crashers got announced for Switch. It was rumored for a little bit, and then I think at PAX we got it. I've never played Castle Crashers. The only one I've played is Battle Block Theater, the sequel, and I admittedly do not know what other games that company has made. I know they did do one, but I cannot for the life of me tell you what that was. So a big one was Google Stadia. This is the Google streaming service where they put all of the, where it's like, hey, all of Google's games will be on, or all of, they've been testing this out with like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but now it's like more, they're like showing off more. I don't trust it. Like something that's too good to be true. You need probably an amazing internet connection, something that's inachievable by most people, so But some of the things are neat. It has potential. I mean, they're gonna have to do a free trial. We all know this, and when they do that free trial, I'll be willing to give it a shot. But until then, I don't know. It took me a long time to get on board with digital only games. I eventually did thanks to the 3DS, but that was a slow process. So it's going to take me even longer to get on board. We didn't even put Ryu in here. And our last one, WTF. Who is going to win? Who out of all of these fighters do we have our money on? Personally, I'm putting money on myself, of course, Starlass, Toka. Anyone else I like? Yeah, anyone else can do whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Ready to fight? I just have... I wish I could show you the edit title. One second. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, that's not something I'm on board with yet. Maybe one day, but that one day is a long ways away. Three stock. Should I do 2 stock? I actually want to do 2 stock. 3 stock's a lot. I don't think I can change it. Okay, we're stuck with it. Let's do some shuffling. Alright, and let's do this. Let's go. Okay, we just have to make sure not to skip the battles.
Round 1.
No. You just have to make sure not to skip the battles. I don't care who wins. Probably M. So yeah, Stadia, it took me forever to get on board. Digital sounded cool, but it's always that thing like, oh, you get the Scott Pilgrims and the PTs where they're just gone forever. Oh my god, this is gonna be... They're too stupid. Yeah, 3 stock was a mistake. We've got time. I've got time. Hopefully. Stadia could be good. It could be bad. Like, I think you're going to need a good internet connection. Certain countries do, actually. I know that's why South Korea is so big on it, is because they have a good internet connection. But countries like America, where internet providers are a monopoly, they're not... I mean, there's several of them, but none of them compete with one another. They have their own staked out territory. So, I have no hope in Stadia. God, yeah. 3 stock was a mistake, man. That's normally what I do 2 for 2s, but they're just so stupid. They barely know what they're doing. So we'll see. They need that free trial. That free trial is going to do a lot. If it sucks, the controller is kind of whatever. We'll see. It's weird that I'm actually more supportive of Microsoft doing this than I am Google, and I don't know why that is. Or even, I know Nintendo's been trying this out recently with, Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, or was it Origins or Odyssey? Maybe both. And then, Resident Evil 7. So, I mean, it could have potential, but I will always have that skepticism. I still like owning physical games. My copy of Smash is still a physical game after all. So yeah, so something I've been talking about since August of last year when Simon and Richter got revealed for Smash Bros. Was that I think we should get Symphony of the Night on Switch. And a better idea was that Konami should make a Castlevania Legacy Collection. Much like the two Mega Man... Well, there's actually 4 of them. The Mega Man Legacy Collections, the original, and then the X one. I don't know anyone who'd buy the X2 collection. My god, what a waste. No good games in that one. I know X2 probably has some diehard fans, but I wouldn't know them. I know the Mega Man 8 probably has a diehard fan, but I haven't met them either. 9 and 10 were good, though. But I've been saying, hey, they should do a Legacy Collection. That would be really cool. I think that's something Nintendo really should, or Konami should really do. Of course, the problem is they're Konami. And Konami's, well, fuck Konami, you know? So I had no faith in them. Should we restart this tournament? Just do one life? You know... OR A+. Yes. I know I have to scan in all the characters again, but that was going to take forever. You and I both know that was going to take forever. Complete mistake on my part, I'll admit that. If I do that... Edit. One stock. Sure. I don't even want to save that, honestly. It's just... God, that was going to take forever. But yeah, so I've been saying, hey, they should do this collection. That would be the smart thing to do. And it looks like they're actually doing it. I don't know if they got somebody to do it or if they're doing it in-house. Because I know, like, I don't know. But they're doing a Castlevania collection. So far, we know Castlevania... We know half of the games. The original 3, 4... I want to say Rondo. I don't remember. I know so far though, Symphony of the Night isn't on there, and maybe Rondo isn't on there either. But there are 5 games. Like I want to say, or maybe it's 8 in total, and we only know 4. So it's like, okay, one of them has to be Symphony of the Night. One of them has to be Rondo, because those are the Richters in Smash Bros. You need that game. You should at least have one of him on Switch. And I know some people will point to, oh, what about Snake? Which, Snake's a complicated one, I'll admit that. Or, I saw something, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but with Persona 5. Some people are like, oh, Persona 5's not coming to Switch, and I'm like, what makes you think that? I mean, at first I was like, oh, because there's tons of other, Persona games there's tons of other, like, Final Fantasy wasn't on a Nintendo systems until just, like, a month ago. What else? Final Fantasy wasn't on a Nintendo system. None of the modern Metal Gear Solid games have been on a Nintendo system. I know Snake was in, like, on the NES days, but... that's complicated, you know? There was one other third party that hadn't... I don't... Oh, well, Joker, duh. But do you see where I'm coming from here? Like, should I have done one CPU? Is this gonna... I don't think this is gonna screw me over in the end. But yeah, this is something that's been coming. If they don't... And then Konami, because fuck Konami, they put, they did remakes of the 2 games? I think they did, Rondo and... I know they did Symphony of the Night for sure. I think the other one was Rondo. And then they just didn't put the remakes on the Switch. They put them on... They were PS4 exclusive for some stupid reason, because fuck Konami. I hate Konami. I like the Castlevania games, but that's about it. I might as well say I'm talking like I enjoyed the original enough. I don't know if they hold up. I'll fully admit that. I thought the original was okay. I don't know if Symphony of the Night holds up. Like, I know it started the Metroidvania genre, but from what people say, I don't feel like it's actually, like, aged that well. That it's, like, an exemplary of what Metroidvania is. Super Metroid and Hollow Knight both do it better. Even Yoku's Island Express did it better, which I don't even think we're going to have time for games I played, but, games I played, I started up Yoku's Island Express. I talked about this after beating Super Metroid. 100%ed it. 100%ed that game. Pretty good. I think Arlo built it up a little too much, because that's the only reason I picked it up, was because of Arlo's review. Built it up a little too much, but I thought it was good. Pretty good. I mean, I 100%ed it, so it's worth it. I don't even know if it took me over 10 hours. There was also a shoot-'em-up collection coming from Konami. I know it was shoot-'em-ups in Contra. There may have been other stuff. I don't remember. But there may have been 2 collections. There may be a Contra collection and a shoot-'em-up collection. I don't care. Honestly, not my style. It's Then we got the Nindies Direct. The Nindies Direct was actually pretty great. Like, I saw some people arguing that it was better than the most recent Nintendo Direct, and honestly, they're not entirely wrong. The Nindy Direct had all sorts of great things, but my 2 favorites were Cuphead. Cuphead, we knew it was coming, but it was still great to see. And what also made Cuphead interesting, I love how... I'm just going to shuffle them all a bunch. The other thing that made Cuphead interesting, I don't even care about the title name, was that I love how they revealed it, where it's like, oh, this is possible due to the guys at Studio MDHR and our partners at Microsoft. That was just like, oh, the way they worded that, I was so happy. Like, it's kind of like the game at the Game Awards last year, where they had Reggie, Phil Spencer, and the other guy come up. This was Reggie's last week, wasn't it? It's either this week or next week that Reggie's last week. But when they had those guys come up, it was like, oh yeah, this is great. This is all the companies working together. That's kind of what this felt like. And I think it did it, honestly, it felt better than even when, the Play Together, the Microsoft thing. That was cool, but I thought this was cooler, honestly. There was a bunch of indie games. A lot of them looked pretty good. I don't know how many of them I'll buy. Maybe a few. Yeah, no, I think the Indies Direct was pretty good. And it ended with something I never expected. Cadence of Hyrule from Crypta the Necrodancer, guys. I have never played Crypta the Necrodancer. Honestly, when I was thinking of it, I kept getting it confused with, Devil Daggers. But Crypta the Necrodancer, I don't really care for rhythm games. The only rhythm game I've been able to get into is Wander Song, and that's just because the writing is so good. So, I don't know. Crypta the Necrodancer could... I'm gonna buy it no matter what, just because it's got the whole Hyrule thing. That wasn't something anyone expected. But it's cool to see it there, and yeah, some people were saying it was that they should have ended on Cuphead, that they didn't have like a strong ending announcement. I think those people were underplaying how important Cadence of Hyrule is. Like, this isn't something Nintendo has done. I don't want to say never. I'm pretty sure something like this has happened before. But it's just so rare. And it opens up, like, I would love to see, much like how Devolver Digital was jockeying for the Star Wars license and showing off what they did with Game of Thrones, I would love to see Devolver Digital do a take on Zelda or anything, honestly. Devolver Digital is just so good. So Rosalina won that first match. Starlass Awesome. Awesome. I'm moving Sonics over to the losers. My desk is like so filled right now, so I have one side with Amiibo, and then the other side is just empty, so I'm moving the losers over there. Yeah, the Indies Direct was great. I enjoyed it. So there's a thing going around that in Japan, Box Boy and Box Girl is, Box Boy and Girl is $10. It's like, it's like 1,100 yen or something like that, which roughly translates to $10. So that, you know, I was expecting them to charge more for it, but if it's going to be that cheap, I don't remember how much the original Box Boy is. Oh, wow, that went fast. I don't remember how much the original Box Boy was, because I bought the first one, but I never bought the sequels. But if they're putting it that cheap, I think I have to pick up that one. Because I enjoyed the original Box Boy, I 100%ed it, but I never played the sequels. Not because I didn't want to, I just never found a time. I think I picked up the original Box Boy on sale as well. And by the time I picked it up, I think the Switch came out like the following March. Like I picked it up in like June. I think it was something like that anyways. I picked up the first Box Boy around the time like the third one was revealed. But if it's $10, ooh, that's good. Labo VR? Or was it Labo? I have Labo VR video. I don't know what that means. You know, maybe Labo VR was announced by the last Splat and Chat. But, so Labo VR actually came out today. I am super tempted. I really is. And not the full thing, just the $40 starter set with the VR and the Canon. That's more than interested me. I'm super curious, man. I hear it's not bad. For a 720p screen, I hear it actually works really well. So, I'm genuinely curious. I hope it's good. Oh my god, I'm laughing. Oh my god, these guys are so dumb. Wow, I'm surprised you've survived. Nope. Disappointed. But since then, so it came out, and I think it's getting positive reviews. It's still a gimmick, but I'm interested. I'll admit, I'm totally interested in it. Going down to one stock God, it was such a better idea. I'm curious. I am genuinely curious. Maybe one day. I spent too much money on Amiibo today. When I went into Best Buy to pick up Wii Fit Trainer, somebody was walking out with the Labo kit. So, but since then they've announced both Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are getting Labo VR support, which that's fascinating to me. From what it sounds, Super Mario Odyssey seems to have 3 levels that you can play through, right? They're like Luncheon Kingdom, I want to say Desert Kingdom, and Seaside Kingdom. You can play through like a specific area and do specific challenges. And it's in first person looking around, or it's in like you're looking at Mario while controlling him. I don't know if the Labo VR has a head strap. It looks to have the divot for one, but I don't think it actually has one. But if you're gonna do something like that, you need like a head strap or something. I know the robot kit had a head strap, so I know they can make them. But what interests me is the Breath of the Wild one. You know what would have been cool if they did for the Breath of the Wild one? Is if they had made it where it was because from what it looks like, you can play the entire game in VR, where the camera, instead of like controlling the camera is like, right, you move the camera by tilting the thing. You're not actually like looking through Link's eyes, but this would have been the perfect opportunity to add a first-person perspective. Sucks that Corin lost. I think a first-person perspective, even and make it playable non-VR. I mean, it still controls the same. There's no motion controls, but it's just playing the Breath of the Wild in a first-person perspective. That would have been really neat. Even if it didn't work perfectly, that's something I would have wanted them to add to the game. I'm disappointed it wasn't there. Like, that could have been so cool. This is actually me versus my brother. That's why. I asked him, the one who came by and fed the squirrel earlier, to pick a character at random, and I think this was the one he picked. So, yeah, I'm interested in Labo, man. There was this weird video that was put out today about the Toad kit, which is admittedly really weird. I don't know how to, or about like a Toad pedestal. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm definitely interested in Labo. It has so much potential. Affordable VR that isn't like Google Cardboard, because I had Google Cardboard, but something that can like actually do interesting things. I know PlayStation VR, which we'll talk about in a second, because we're going to talk about State of Play next. But I'm fascinated to see where it goes. Plus, they keep adding more things with it. If they keep doing more... Oh, God, I lost. Of course I lost. Where am I? Right there. Yeah. Speaking of VR, PlayStation VR was a thing, the State of Play. So a lot of people were like, oh, this is PlayStation's Nintendo Direct. If you don't remember, Nintendo Directs actually had a really rocky start. Like, when they announced, oh, Nintendo's not doing a press conference, it was like, yeah. And we didn't know how to feel about the video. And the video was like, oh, yeah, this is fine, but it could always be better. And it did get better over the years. And then Iwata passed away, and it just had a different feel after that. And now that Reggie's retiring and Doug Bowser's taking over, I guarantee you whatever the conference at E3 is, that's also going to have a different feel. I can guarantee it, because Doug Bowser has to come in at E3. Maybe even at the next... Oh, God. If Reggie comes in at the next Nintendo Direct, presumably next week... Maybe. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, cool. We're definitely going to get something out of Smash Bros. Though. That's going to be sooner rather than later. And if he's like, Reggie's like, oh, I want to thank everyone, kind of do another, like, retirement thank you video, and be like, hey, this is Doug, he's new, but don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Kind of give his stamp of approval. I mean, he doesn't have to, but, and he kind of already has, but I wouldn't mind. So, PlayStation State of Play. A lot of VR focus. From the reactions on Twitter, a lot of people were giving this a lot of shit. And you know what? I disagree. I don't think this deserves as much shit as it got. A lot of, we're in this weird, there's this paradigm in monster movies, where if you show too much of the monster, people will complain that you focused on the monster too much. See Godzilla 2000, or I think it was 98 actually. But if you show too little of the monster, people will complain that they didn't see enough. See Godzilla 2014. And that's kind of what State of Play is. People want PlayStation... VR is this big new thing, so people want PlayStation to talk about VR. Give it their support. Don't kill it off, kind of like they did the Move, or definitely like they did the Vita. People want them to support VR, so then they do this entire thing that's talking about VR, which I think people's expectations were different, and that's why they were disappointed. They were expecting more of a traditional thing, but PlayStation's putting a lot of focus on VR, because PlayStation VR is the cheap alternative. I mean, yes, Labo is, but you know what I mean. Like, compared to everything else, I don't blame it. PSVR has a lot of potential. I'm actually interested in one, but I don't have a PS4, so I can't do anything. But, so there were a bunch of them. There's a bunch of stuff. I'm only going to focus on a few. Iron Man VR. This was Direct, something Nintendo figured out. Everything needs a good opening and a good ending. I think PlayStation got half of that. I think Iron Man is a good opening. This was kind of cool to see. I thought they were making like an Iron Man game. Turns out that's not what they're doing, but I think it's still cool to see like something being done with Iron Man. Where is Peach? There we go. I think this looks pretty cool. I'm actually totally down for this.
2, 1, go!
I'm out of water. So yeah, Iron Man. I think it's cool. I think this was a great start for it. I mean, we'll see more. We got some No Man's Skies Beyond. I'm torn on No Man's Skies. I heard it got better, and I've read some things that do make the game actually sound pretty good. But I'm so sick of the modern AAA. Oh, we can release a game that's only half finished and finish it later, or we have a roadmap. No. I do not care for that. I mean, I know I'm biased, because when Nintendo, like Smash Bros. Technically has a roadmap with its DLC, even if we don't know what's actually in it. But, I have a better idea. I mean, I know we've had DLC packs that technically probably even told us less. Because now in the mod, because it used to be you pay you buy a Call of Duty game for $60, and then you pay $60 to get whatever DLC comes along the way, mostly zombie maps. And nowadays it's like, oh, we're gonna charge you $60, no paid DLC, but microtransactions. And instead we're gonna give you a bare bones game that's a grind fest, and we're gonna add in stuff later and make the game good later. I don't know. No Man's Sky is also adding VR. I don't know. I didn't see the hype for the game before it released, and I thought people went crazy about it, and then it turned out to be shite, and it was like, yeah, what did you expect? Wow, I'm surprised he actually hit. FNAF VR, it was funny. So I know we hate Matt Pat nowadays. I don't hate Matt Pat. I don't love him, mind you. I do think he has fallen, but I don't hate. I can't, with few exceptions, I can't muster to be angry at him like other people can. So it's funny to see, like, Matt Pat was like, oh, here's a FNAF theory, and then the following day, oh, guess what? The game's actually being revealed. He nailed it on the head. FNAF in VR, part of me is like, Scott, I'm not one of those people who was like, oh, he milked the franchise to death for the first 4 games. I thought the first 4 games were fine. I liked the ending, that it was all a dream theory. I actually Let's Played the first 4 games back on YouTube years ago. But from the 5th game on, when he basically was like, oh, people weren't happy with dream theory, plus I had some other ideas based on the book, so instead I'm just going to do that with the 5th and 6th game. I had no interest in that. That was just, no, not interested. I liked what he was doing. I was actually satisfied with Dream Theory. FNAF is the only time that has ever happened. I hate Dream Theories. I hate Coma Theories. I hate... The examples, Purgatory, or, like, Everyone's Dead Theory, like Rugrats, or Ed, Edd n Eddy. I hate theories like that. They're just the cheapest bullshit in the world. But FNAF actually, I think, set it up properly. There was more than enough evidence. I think it worked. But redoing all the games in VR, plus adding some new stuff? Yeah, I'm down for that. Seems interesting enough. We got Days Gone, a game I said is just another generic zombie game. I guess people have, like, played it at, like, press outings and said it's pretty good, but I don't know, man. It's just another freaking zombie game. I don't care. Concrete Genie. This game actually looks really good. It also is getting something VR. Everything's getting VR, I think. But Concrete Genie actually looked really good. Like, I'm genuinely interested in this game. Again, don't have a PS4, but if I did, this would definitely be in my considerations. Am I fascinated by this. Great looking game, man. great looking game. And then, like I said, they knew how to start a conference. They didn't know how to end it. They ended it off with Mortal Kombat 11, showed the story trailer and like 2 new characters. Nah, didn't do it for me. That was not a way. They need to fix that. But overall, I thought State of Play was fine. I thought it did its job well enough. I got information. I think some people are biased because they focus too much on VR, which I get it. Not everyone has a VR, but I thought it was fine. And if they keep doing it, I mean, Nintendo has shown it works. Microsoft's weird copy, that's kind of its own thing, didn't really, it's kind of hit and miss. But PlayStation tried to maybe find a balance, definitely leaning more towards Nintendo. I mean, PlayStation doesn't, there's countless examples of people who just, of PlayStation just ripping off Nintendo, right? PlayStation Move, this, the original PlayStation, I mean, I know that was working with Nintendo, but that's neither here nor there. But I thought this was a fine start. If they keep doing this, if they do one of these at E3, I know they're not going to have any show floor presence. I hope they do a PS4 sale. If they do a PS4 sale, I'm buying one. I've had money set aside for a while now. Maybe. I've said this before. I've had money set aside for a PS4 for years. I just can never pull the trigger. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's like the money I've set aside to get a haircut. I'm gonna go grab a cup of water real quick, and when we get back, we'll do whatever's next. I know we still have a lot to go. So I want to talk about what I've been playing, but I have not been playing anything. I did, yes, okay, outside of stream, I played a little Splatoon. I played, if you saw my April Fool's Day thing, I played a bunch of Minecraft. Still, oh my god, I love that game so much, man. Minecraft. You know, they removed Notch's, or Marcus Pearson, right, like all references to him. I know he's done some weird stuff, and some stuff that I do not support, I might as well say. I don't. But I don't know how I feel about just removing his name. It's complicated. I get why they did it. Who did Ridley beat? I don't think I moved them. Ridley beat Mega Man, I did. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. I know I get why they did it, and I understand, but I mean, there's this joke going around, it's like, oh, Minecraft, it's this great game. But Dad, who made it? Nobody, son. It just appeared one day from outer space. I get why they did it, though, and I'm digging myself into a hole here. Again, I disagree with what he says entirely. Because because he has nothing, now that he's he made 4 billion? Or was it 11 billion? No, maybe Star Wars was 11 billion? I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm not actually going to add Star Wars. Star Wars. Stupid title. Okay, oh, we did that one. Yeah, we've kind of talked about that. Oh, I did actually. Oh, interesting. But yeah, that's what, so I've been playing Minecraft, and then, like I said earlier, I started up Yoku's Island Express. So the first time I had ever heard of the game was when Arlo put it at his #1 in his top 10 games of 2018. So I was interested. I mean, if he's gonna put it that high, it must be good. That list may have been out of order, but that was the one he praised the most. And I like pinball games. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon Pinball. We need another Pokemon Pinball. Come on, Game Freak, give us another Pokemon Pinball. Pokemon Pinball is so much fun, man. Every once in a while, I boot up the Game Boy one, the GBA one, Ruby and Sapphire, and it's just so much fun. Fan service versus a blowjob. So yeah, but I started it up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what I can do. I actually got to the ending within like 3 days, but I knew I was at the ending, and I saw the twist coming. They were not subtle with that. But I was like, you know, I should go around, collect a few things. I think the first time I beat the ending, I had like 70% completion. I went back, I did everything I hadn't done, and then I beat the final boss again. This time got the final thingy hidden in the end, and got the 100% completion. Which, the ending, I'm not going to spoil, but not what I was expecting. I was not expecting that from the 100%. But I did it. And yeah, it was good. Arlo built it up too much, though. He put it way too high. Or at least personally, that's how it was. It was built up too much for me. The Metroidvania aspects, while they were there, were very understated. Like, yeah, there were like 2 or 3, but they weren't really... They weren't really anything special. I was trying to think why. I knew it was FE something. It was female. Oh my god, am I dense? That was the... I knew it was some joke like that, but I couldn't fucking remember. That was it. God, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'll forget to change it. Yeah, I also I started up Wonder Song. I'm a ways into it. I don't like rhythm games, but Wonder Song's writing is really good, so it's getting me through it. And I think that's been it. That's all I have played. I have... Colleague has ramped up. I've had a paper due every day, and I have 2 papers due on Tuesday, and like long papers, not small ones either. So I have my work cut out for me, but that's what I'm doing next 2 days. I haven't even had time to make videos. Like on the main channel, I have episode 5 of Star recorded. I just need to edit it. And I have episode 8 recorded. It's a weird one, man. I may not upload that. It was pretty bad, honestly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm probably going to anyways, but I don't know how to edit it. Very spur of the moment, but I just have not had the time. I've been so busy with other stuff. That's why I didn't stream last week, was because I had a paper due at midnight, and I instead did the paper. That took priority. I know, also, the other half is that I just have not... I liked Deltarune, I enjoyed the first half, but I just have not had interest in doing the rest of it. It was good, but... I don't love RPGs, and while I loved Undertale, I don't know, something about Deltarune's worrisome, and plus I have no idea how long it takes. I'm actually interested in, like, starting up Metroid Fusion soon. So we'll see. We'll see. And that's it. I have not... I didn't even have my Switch hooked up for like the past week. Anything I'm watching at the moment? I watched, oh, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That I did watch. I was feeling something happy and lighthearted. And everything else I'd been, like, trying to watch recently, I got, like, one episode in and was just, like, super disappointed by it. So it was just like, I need something, man. I needed something. So I was like, you know, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is a safe bet. So I did that one, and that show was pretty great. I think that's it. Let's continue with the entertainment news. Avengers Endgame tickets went on sale. I'm going with my brother, the one you saw in the background earlier, one night on Thursday night, and then I'm going with the rest of my family the next night. Last year I went and saw I went and saw Infinity War. Like, I got out of college that like Friday morning, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see Infinity War. And then I talked to my mother, and she took the day off because she knew I was going to go see it and asked to go see it with me. And then my brother found out, and he was upset. So I was like, you know, next year when Endgame comes out, I'll take you to see it before anyone else does. So that's what I'm doing. Yep. I kept my promise, and yeah. I didn't even realize Toon Link was fighting Young Link. That's cute. I didn't even notice. Honestly, after we got all the Amiibos named, this Splat chat has actually been running very smoothly. I've been able to stay on focus a lot more because I'm not having to pay attention as much to the game. Yeah, I got Endgame tickets. I'm excited. It's 2 weeks away. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. Finally, a series that I think that will have an ending that won't disappoint me. Steven, Star have all been disappointing. Well, I know Star hasn't ended yet, but episode 8 was not pretty. So, yeah, no, I think Avengers Endgame is going to have a good ending. And then we get another Spider-Man movie. Yeah. I'm down. I'm totally down for this. The other thing we got today was Star Wars. We got a trailer for the new Star Wars movie. It's an okay trailer. You know, I liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was okay, right? I thought it was right. It was proving that Disney can make a Star Wars movie. Rogue One was fine. What came after? After Rogue One, Last Jedi. Last Jedi is super controversial. I think most people are full of it. The Last Jedi is a great movie. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty great. People give it way too much shit. I like a lot of the choices it makes, and I'm worried this one is either going to undo them, because I know Rian Johnson said that he was fine with J.J. Abrams changing the thing. Which, my other worry about this movie is that it's J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams has never ended a series before, with the exception of, like, Felicity. Was it Felicity? I think it's Felicity. So I don't have faith that J.J. Abrams can end a series. I just don't. That's a big worry. There are some things that look very interesting in the trailer. I'm not going to show it or anything. I like that opening shot. You know the one I'm talking about. That's pretty nice. I like that ending, the whole, right? If Jedis can come back as Force Ghosts, why can't Siths? A question that makes perfect sense. Honestly? Yeah, I totally get that. I'm very interested to see where that goes. Oh god, such a shit stage. You know, Great Cave Offensive is an idea I really like. as a stage, like on paper, I'm like, oh, this is a great stage. Actually playing it, I cannot stand it. But yeah, so and then we get the title. The title is Rise of the Skywalker. I hate that title. At least The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, right? Those are sayings, they go along with everything else. Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. Rise of the Skywalker feels like it's breaking that naming scheme. It's way more complicated than all of those others. Or at least that's how it feels. So I do not like the name. Also, they said it was said in Last Jedi. I do not remember it being said in Last Jedi. I guarantee you there was a better name. And what the name refers to, I mean, if they bring Luke back, that'd be stupid. I do think the best part of The Last Jedi is how they did Luke, Rey, and Kylo. All of that is really well done. Luke's bits are the best bits in that movie. So entertaining, so well done. I know some people say that, oh, it doesn't make sense with continuity. Oh, it makes perfect sense. It's so well done. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, Rian Johnson saying that J.J. Abrams can retcon some of his stuff and change it. I don't think that's the right idea. I really think, I don't know if Lucas had originally planned for, like, an ending to Star Wars. If, like, he knew Luke was Vader's father, or Vader was Luke's father, or if the whole Palpatine thing. I don't know if he planned that. But I know for a fact the modern Star Wars trilogy didn't. Like, Marvel is planning out stuff 10 movies ahead. Star Wars clearly ain't. And that has been... And even though I think both the movies are good, I honestly think that's a genuine detriment. I really do. But I'm still gonna see it. I saw Solo eventually. Solo was okay. And then I hear they're taking a break from from Star Wars movies afterwards for a little while. Sucks that we aren't gonna get that Obi-Wan movie. My hope for that Obi-Wan movie was that they were just going to adapt the whole Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul thing from the animated series. Because that stuff was really well done. And while I know, yes, we've already had it, it'd be like adapting a comic, but in live action. That would be really cool. And it's a really good and well done story to tell. And while I think the Clone Wars and all that stuff is actually canon on like the extended universe and the books, which the books are overrated. I'm just gonna say it. The books are stupid. I think it'd be cool. That had a lot of potential. That of course Solo being the one nobody cared about is just gonna kill. And they even set it up in Solo, or at least that's how I feel they did. Disappointed my Yoshino lost. Yoshino's like. It's not technically my favorite, but it's the one, like, I care the most about. It's the one I, like, if I'm like, oh, pick an Amiibo or not at random, I'm just like, pick an Amiibo, I will pick Yoshino. If you saw my April Fool's Day video, that's exactly what I did. So we are now half and half. Wow. But yeah, I'm still gonna see it. I'm staying very... pessimistic about it. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, I'm not going to be surprised. It's either going to be good, or it's either going to be bad, or I'm going to be genuinely surprised. And I don't think I don't know, man. I want it to be good, but I'm going to be so glad to be done with the Star Wars trilogy. I'm interested in seeing what a Rian Johnson trilogy is going to look like. Completely original, no previous canon to worry about. Disappointed that the assist trophy decided that battle. But I'm interested to see what a Rian Johnson trilogy can do. I guess the Game of Thrones guy are doing a Star Wars trilogy. They gave them their own trilogy, or they're doing a TV show or something. But, we'll see. Speaking of TV show, Disney yesterday did their whole Disney Plus spiel. Which, you know, okay, putting all the Disney stuff on a streaming platform makes perfect sense. I'm surprised they're taking them this long. I'm surprised the release date is November. The price, $6.99, super affordable. That, like, I was not expecting it to be that cheap. Holy cow, is that cheap. That's, I'm gonna do it no matter what. At that price, holy crap. I think it's $60 if you do it for like a full year. Wow, that's like do it a full year all at once. I may. I genuinely, well, I may do it all at once, but I know I'm doing it no matter what. Like, I know I'm already a slave to the Disney brand. They announced, like, we already knew about the Mandalorian show, which is that maybe that's the thing done by the Game of Thrones guys. I don't think so. God, is Duck Hunt just gonna perfect Ken? But we know a bunch of stuff that's gonna be on there, a bunch of stuff taken off of Netflix, moved there. I want my Song of the South, Disney. Give me Song of the South. Put that warning in front of it, saying it's a product of its time, but it's important that it's still released, because if we don't, that's erasing history. Put Song of the South on your streaming service, Disney. Do it. Other than that, so, conspiracy theory, so I said Endgame. They're giving TV shows to the Winter Soldier, Falcon, Wanda and the Vision, and like one other character that I'm forgetting. My problem with that is that I'm convinced that Captain America, because Chris Evans is done with the role of Captain America. We know that. I'm convinced Chris Evans is done playing Captain America, so they're going to get the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan, to replace him. He's going to become the new Captain America, which I think happened in the comics as well. There's more than enough evidence that that's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. Captain America's going to die in Endgame, and when they bring everyone back, Sebastian Stan's going to become the Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes is going to become the new Captain America. That's entirely what I expect. I think that would be... That's what I... Not only do I want it, but if Chris Evans is down with the role, I think, right, it's a fine replacement for him. Yeesh. God, that was not pretty. But yeah, Wanda and Falcon show? Yeah, sure. Maybe the other was Hawkeye. I hope Hawkeye shows up in the Black Widow movie, just because Scarlett Johansson and what's his name, Jeremy Renner, have great chemistry on screen. Like, they play off of each other so well. So it would be nice if he showed up as well. But a Hawkeye show is... I like Hawkeye, but, I mean, it's not killing me. Wanda and Vision I am actually totally down for. Like, they're characters that I would love to just explore more. And Falcons, yeah, sure. I guess I'm down. Again, I could totally see a Captain America 4 with him playing support. If Falcon becomes Captain America, I don't remember his actual, the character name. But if he does dual role as both Captain America and Falcon, like he did in the comics at one point, I'd be totally down for that. Was that after Civil War when he did double duty? Don't remember. But that'd be something, I'd be down for that as well. Either option, really. Yeah, so a bunch of Marvel shows. We'll see how it goes. There was something else Marvel. Oh, we got a trailer for The Lion King. God, who would want to see this? Like, who is genuinely excited? When the animated version just is more expressive, more interesting, has more depth to it. I mean, it's a shot-for-shot remake, but without any of the quality or charm. I mean, I know they're bumping, like, all the facts up to 11, but animation looks so much better. Somebody actually pointed out recently that the conspiracy theory for the reason why Disney's doing these live-action remakes is to keep the licensing. That way they can, right? Because, you know, copyright doesn't last forever if you don't use the license. Again, and Disney will infinitely keep their copyright on Mickey Mouse because they are an evil corporation that owns a lot. Do not trust Disney. But yeah, even though I'm a shell to them, like I am Nintendo. And Achievement Hunter. I'm looking at my Moon Ball. They announced a Tower of Pimps Moon Ball, where it's like 5 Moon Balls. I want that. I hope it's not RTX exclusive. I hope they actually sell that in stores. Oh, do I want that. But, where was I going? I don't, you know, I'm gonna do it no matter what. There's more than enough there, but the live action remakes I do not care for. Dumbo was garbage. Dumbo was garbage, man. I need to sneeze. And yeah, that's all I got on Disney Plus. I feel like we've been going on that tirade for a while. Yeah, Rise of the Skywalkers, man. What a bad title. Oh wow, fan service lost. Next up, I got Shantae 5. We don't know anything other than they're making a 5th Shantae game. I like Shantae, even though I have never really played much of them. I played the second game, Risky's Revenge. I played Pirate's Curse. I played but never beat Risky's Revenge. I played and beat Pirate's Curse. I never played Half Genie Hero, but I am interested in a 5th Shantae game. I'm glad they're doing it. That's cool. That's something cool that I'm glad is happening. Don't really have much to say other than that. We know nothing. We haven't seen gameplay, or there's presumably going to be a more specific title than just Shantae 5. There's the end of that match. How utterly disappointing. Utterly disappointing. But yeah. There's Monolith, the guys who did Xenoblade, I guess, are hiring for a Zelda game. What does this mean? We know there's probably going to be another Zelda game, probably not next year, but the year after that. Whether it be probably expanding on Breath of the Wild, whether it be a Majora's Mask style thing or something entirely new. I'm always down for more Zelda. I mean, we'll talk about more Zelda here in a minute. There might be 2 Zeldas coming out this year. Well, actually 3 with Cadence of Hyrule. But what is... Yeah, it's probably just them hiring for another Zelda game. If Monolith is doing a Zelda game just by themselves... The boy beat Honey. That's usually how it worked in real life. The boy, the boy was way younger than us. But he was... He just knew how to cheap Little Mac, man. Oh my god. What does this mean, Monolith hiring for Zelda? It could be them working... Because they worked on Breath of the Wild, I guess. So it could be that. It could be something more. Could be them making their own.
3, 2, 1, go!
I've been saying recently, I want Monolith to make a Pokemon game. I think Monolith could... If Pokemon Company license out their thing for Monolith to do, which I know they're both Nintendo, but you know what I mean. I think Monolith could make an amazing Pokemon game. If they did it in the style of Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X, that would be amazing. Oh my god. Especially, X is divisive for some people, but I really enjoyed X. It really was a living, breathing world, so if they did it like X, because part of the Pokemon, the reason why Pokemon keeps their game small is because it's like 150 people, 2 teams of 50, and then like developers and whatnot. Then like janitorial, marketing, editor, right? That's what like the 3rd team is of the rest 50 people, executives. So that's why like none of their games are massive. So from here on out, with the remaining people, either Boo or Toka. Those are who I want to win. It's 8 plus 1? So it's 9. I have 9 left? How did I get 9? Who did I not eliminate? You won, you won, you won. Did Ken lose? Maybe Ken lost. That would make sense. Yeah, that's weird. It must be Ken that lost. I don't remember Ken losing, but that's the only one here that I don't think has won. But yeah, Monolith for a Zelda game. Sure. Whether that means... Yeah. Because we know this, the sequel to Breath of the Wild has been in, like, some form of development. They probably started as soon as Breath of the Wild's DLC development finished. I've still never played that DLC almost over a year later. I really need to play that at some point. Never bought it. Next up, you know, here's something I'm interested in. The Sega Genesis Mini. I have an NES and SNES Classic Mini. I've used them for Metroid, Zeldas, right? Mario's. Pretty good little systems. PlayStation made their PlayStation Classic. I said I pre-ordered it because I was interested in it. And then as the time went on, when it came closer to release, I was like, no, this isn't going to end well. So I canceled my pre-order. And then it didn't do well, and it kept getting cheaper and cheaper. If you want one, you can get one for $40 nowadays. Still is, if it ever goes on sale for $20, I'll buy it. And maybe merchant partners. But you didn't hear that from me. But right now, the PlayStation Classic is just a disappointment. Sega Genesis Classic is interesting. They're not getting Power A to do it. I think is that what it is? Power A, the company that does most of the classic systems, and that was originally doing the Genesis until Sega decided they weren't adequate enough. It's instead being done by the team that's been doing, I want to say, Sega Ages on all the major consoles. Wow, Duck Hunt won, really? Okay, that puts Duck Hunt in our Final Four. That's... Dude, the people who did Sega... the Sega Ages, I hear those are good ports. So, yeah. Okay, so it's Ridley and Inkling. I think it's those two, or it's these two and these two? Something like that. These are, so the other one, I like I said, I asked my brothers to pick ones. So I have two brothers. One of them picked Inkling, the other one picked Ridley. So, yeah. We'll see. Even though the Inkling looks much more like the one who picked Ridley than the other one. But yeah, so one of the things I loved about the Sega Genesis Mini is when they were like, we were going to narrow it down to 30 games, but then we realized, there's too many good games. Let's do 40 instead. If you haven't seen, the NES and SNES Classics can hold a lot of games, so of course they could hold 40. But that really shows how much love and care they're putting into it. There are still... I didn't pre-order it. I didn't freak out like the PlayStation. I learned my lesson from the PlayStation. I'm not going to do anything with it until two things. One, people have actually played it. I think the release date's September. I want to say it's September 14th. So as we get closer, I want people to have played it and have good things to say about it, because people had middling things to say about the PlayStation. And I have to see the menu. You can tell a lot about these mini consoles from their menu design, like the place where you switch between games. If that's good, then yeah, I'll do it. If it's not, The other thing that's much like the PlayStation for me, a big thing, the games actually look good. Like, there are definitely some I'm interested in. I'm presuming all the Sonic games are going to be there. I wonder if all of the... I hope all the Sonic games are there. I'd love to also see some CD and 32X games. I know I'm just thinking Chaotix, but yeah. That's what I want. But I doubt it's going to happen. But I'm still interested in this thing nevertheless. Again, never owned a Sega. I was an NES kid. So I'm interested. There are a lot of games here that I've never played. Plus, it'll look good on my shelf. Because much like my Amiibo, most of the time, I've got more use out of the NES and SNES classics on stream than I did before. Next up, we have Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympics. The 2020 Olympics are in Japan. This game was inevitable. We have like 2 screenshots and that's it. We don't know anything more or anything less. But this game was inevitable. I know they skipped out on the 2018 Winter Olympics. And with the Mario and Olympics game, I have owned both one of the summer ones and one of the winter ones. The summer ones are not that great, but the winter ones are really good. So being a summer game, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. But, you know, we knew this was going to come. I mean, Mario was in the reveal thing for the Tokyo Olympics, so of course this was going to happen. It'd be cool if they brought in Pac-Man. Add another layer to it. That'd be cool. The whole copyright thing with Miss Pac-Man, I know that's why it's complicated. I'd love that third layer, though. Especially as Smash has spoiled me. I mean, if they can make it work for Smash, they could totally... Yeah, whatever. But aren't they actually making, like, an official Olympics game? I feel like that's something that's actually happening. Kind of like Steep, but not shit. I have no idea who's going to win this. And yeah, next up, these 2 points kind of combine, but yeah, let's just do the first one first. So, Persona 5R got announced. God, Crocodildy. Yeah. I do not like K. Rool. Just saying. But, so there was this whole PlayStation, or Persona 5R. And PlayStation, or Atlas announced it and was like, hey, it's gonna be soon, right? We're gonna reveal it in March. I want to say they announced it in January. So we came around to the date, March 25th, and we got like a new female character, and it's coming to PlayStation, but that's it. It's PlayStation exclusive. That's all we know. I feel like ARM stood for something, but I don't remember. It doesn't matter to me. But then a few days later, they announced that, hey, we're doing another announcement. They keep doing these, like, reveals for what are eventually going to be reveals months down the line. I don't know why Atlas keeps doing this. It's stupid. Come on, get that hammer. I'm totally rooting for Toka at this point. Oh yeah, kill him. Ooh, kill him. But yeah, I don't... So, it's this Persona 5S. Okay. We don't know anything. There was some sort of message hidden on the website, but we don't really know much other than that. Until a few days later, this is what I don't know how they call this in all circles, but I like the Wario 64 Direct. It was found in the internals of Best Buy's website that there were 3 new entries. The first one was Persona 5 for Switch. We all saw this, right? This was obvious. This is probably what Persona 5S is. And again, this was just a few days after the Persona 5S reveal teaser for what will eventually be a teaser. But it's definitely the Switch. It's gotta be... I know some people, like I said, I saw somebody saying that, oh, Persona 5's not coming to Switch. It could run on PS3. It could easily run on Switch. And after you look at what companies like Panic Button have done, or Team Ninja with Hellblade, which came out, I need to pick that game up, man. Nope, spending all my money on Amiibo, never mind. But God, Hellblade looks good. And the Switch port looks great. So I have total... So even if it wasn't, I have total faith that they could do it. They could do the game justice. But yeah, that's obvious. The other thing, now this has been leaked for a while now. Well, rumor, I say leaked, but it's technically rumored. You know, the words technically aren't interchangeable, but most people use them as such, and that kind of messes with my thinking piece. Come on. I actually don't. I'm surprised Duck Hunt is doing so well in this thing. Yeah, Duck Hunt we can. Duh. Duck Hunt. God. That's my move for. I'm sad. The second thing. So, right, the second thing was the Metroid Prime, right? It's been talked about. We know it's coming eventually. I hope it comes out sooner rather than later, because that's why I'm kind of doing Fusion first, because I would be much more interested in buying Metroid Prime than I would be the Prime Trilogy on Switch than I would be on the Wii U, even though it's going to be another $30. God damn it, Nintendo. God, unless you're doing an HD port, then there's no reason it should be more than like $20, $30. No reason. But we knew that was coming. God damn it, K. Rool. The one I wanted to win, Toka. Nope. God. I don't know how K. Rool did so well. I get why K. Rool did so well, but I'm disappointed.
Final.
Alright. Let's see how it goes. But the last thing, A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is a game. We played it last year, and we know there's a Link's Awakening remake, but this isn't that, because there is a listing for Link's Awakening in Best Buy's website. So this was something completely different. What does this mean? I'm not entirely sure. There's multiple ideas, but the one that I think is interesting is that that maybe they're doing Link to the Past and Link's Awakening together, same engine, but they're remaking both games. That's an interesting theory. Even though I bet it's one of the less likely ones. The most likely one is that it's fake. It's just someone put in the wrong thing, and this means nothing. Which would confuse on why the other two are there, because I totally buy the other two are real. K-Rool's gonna die. Oh, you're immune to the bomb, I guess? Oh, K-Rool's gonna die. Sucker. I do not like K-Rool. And 31 Amiibo later, Duck Hunt is our winner. My goodest boy, my woofer. I miss him so much. I do. But he's my goodest boy. I loved him. I loved him so much. There's nothing I could do. That's what cancer does. Okay, now we gotta scan them all out.
Choose your fighter.
We have a lot of Amiibo to scan. Let's get started. Okay, so Linked, it could be fake. I would not be surprised if it's fake. That's the most obvious way to interpret it. But I would love to see a remake of Link to the Past. I know it'd probably be a very direct remake. It'd probably use the same art style. But it makes sense. Because Link's Awakening isn't the longest game in the world. Link to the Past is... I mean, by modern standard, it's not, like... I mean, it's not one of these endless grind games, but... I'm interested. I'm interested to see where this goes, honestly. That's going to be an E3 thing. And yeah, that was the Wario 64 Direct. I do have... Just being in Best Buy system is interesting, and... Like, the other two are super believable. That's what makes the Link to the Past thing believable. What else? Because we're still scanning here. The last thing, I might as well talk about the, rumors. All the things swirling around about what's actually, like, going on. Is there going to be a Nintendo Direct? I think there is. Whether it be, like, I would not be surprised if they're like, hey, we're doing a micro Direct. We're going to talk about the new Smash Bros. Update and, like, one or two other things, but that's it. We're not talking about everything. E3's just around the corner. Maybe we'll get a little more footage of Mario Maker. But, like, I would not be surprised if it's just, like, a 10-minute Direct. Because I think we need... we don't need something, but it'd be nice to have, you know? I'd enjoy it. I think that would be fun. But we'll see. We'll see. What else? There were usually there's usually a Nintendo Direct every other month, maybe every third month. But there's not going to be one unless they have actually done micro directs before E3. So that's not completely out of the possibility. But even though Mario Maker is similar to the previous one, there's still a bunch they can show of it. It's not like, I doubt they've shown everything. There's that whole multiplayer mode that's probably going to be in there. I mean, go watch the Game Explains hour-and-a-half long video. I did. It's actually, sometimes, while I do like shorter stuff, sometimes it's really enjoyable to sit down and watch a long video. Whether that be, the Game Explains, that video, the Breath of the Wild one, a podcast. I love podcasts, man. New episode of The Adventure Zone came out, I think, today or yesterday. Need to get, okay. I mean, yesterday or 2 days ago, because it's past midnight. But you know what I mean. I need to get caught up. I didn't even watch The Adventure Zone. But I will eventually. I don't know why I ain't just throwing these guys back in the box. Yeah, but if a Nintendo Direct happens, wouldn't be surprised at all. I totally think there is a possibility. Anything else? We're almost done. Because after I finished scanning these guys, we're done. It was an interesting stream. We spent about an hour unboxing and naming Amiibo, and then we spent another hour and a half doing a tournament. It was an okay tournament, I think. I was super disappointed by freaking Duck Hunt winning, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I need to name... There's still probably another 32 in there. It takes forever to name. This is probably the most Amiibos I have ever named. Like, I do not name my Amiibo. They sit on their shelf and collect dust and look pretty. Except for Yoshino. Yoshino gets my love. Yeah. I think the next Amiibo launch is... there should be one in June, because it's every other month. But I actually think it's July. Pichu, Simon, and Snake, maybe? It also might be Pichu, Snake, and the Pokemon Trainer. And the next wave is Simon, Ivysaur, and Blastoids, because those are all going to come out at the same time. I think that might be it. We've seen what all of those figures look like, actually. Yeah, I'll be getting them. Plus, I'm waiting for D3 to come out again. They'll actually Corrin. If you need a Corrin, that just went up on, I want to say, Best Buy today. They're already plugging. Oh, the Guardians went up from Breath of the Wild. Don't have any of them. I might. I just might, because I was interested in the Guardians. God, that $60 price point kills me. So the next wave is probably going to be Pokemon Trainer, Pichu, Isabelle, maybe Snake. And if Snake's not in the next wave, then the following wave is going to be Snake, Simon, Squirtle, and Ivysaur. And if it's either June or July, and then August and whatever. We've seen all, those are all the figures we've seen. We also know Dark Samus is a figure. There's going to be every other character. Plus, we're going to get Joker eventually. I'm surprised in the turnaround for Piranha Plant. I mean, that's our first DLC, but we just got that figure back in February. That was a really quick turnaround, all things considered. So I feel like I would not be surprised. I mean, I know Bayonetta took like an extra year. Bayonetta, Corrin, and Cloud. And then they did the Player 2s, which, interesting, but again, the only one I cared about was Corrin, just because I like the female Corrin's design better. It's the little things. And I wonder if they're going to do more Players 2, a male Wii Fit trainer, a female Robin, Alf, male Inkling. I mean, they basically know already. Who else? Those are all the ones that I think really matter. I mean, you could update the Miis. You could, in theory, do a Bowser Jr. zone if you want to. And there's probably others I'm forgetting. Omega Ridley. I'm looking through. I don't know. DLC character, I'm still... There's been this whole tier list DLC thing going on recently. I don't have that, but I'm still expecting... Dragon Quest is probably going to be our reveal at when Joker gets announced. It's going to be Joker's coming out. Oh, there was a leak for Stage Builder in Games and More, right? Like Amiibo was moved over and made smaller, and it was made into a square, and Stage Builder was where it is. Would not surprise. Right? I'm expecting that. Home Run Contest wouldn't surprise me in the next update. Both things I could totally see coming. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. But that was a leak through a commercial. Like, they put out a commercial for Smash Bros. And that just happened to be in the background. Yeah, but no, that's definitely coming within the next, like, week or two. Whenever the direct is, it's probably going to be that same night. With Joker as well. His stage, how he works, and all that. And then I'm expecting Dragon Quest to be the next character. And then at E3, we're getting Minecraft Steve. I think that's a guarantee. But I would not be surprised if they do 2 Microsoft characters. Minecraft Steve and either Banjo-Kazooie or Minecraft Steve and Master Chief. Or if they just did Master Chief... If they just did Minecraft Steve but gave him Michael and Jeff skins, that wouldn't... I know people would be pissed at that, but that wouldn't surprise me. I think Steve is almost a guarantee at this point. Even though I'd want Master Chief and Banjo more, Steve is obvious. I still am rooting for Doom Guy. And there's one... What did I have? There's one other fighter that I don't remember. I don't remember who it was, but there was one other rumor that I was like, yeah, that's not bad. Still want Waddle Dee. That damn it. Yeah, that was the Smash Bros. Amiibo. This was weird and different. This is the one I normally do, but I've been wanting to do Smash and Chat, Splat and Chat, in Chat for weeks. I felt like things just kept piling up, and with a potential direct right around the corner, that takes up an entire Splat and Chat, whatnot. And there is a Splatoon thing next week. if nothing happens, we'll do Deltarune next week. Maybe. Probably. If something happens, well, we'll do that. That's the plan anyways. We'll get to Metroid. Oh, plus I had the Amiibos to unbox as well, and I've been wanting to do that. Plus I need space, man. I gotta clean up. Oh my god, the thing's so dusty. But yeah, that's all I got. It was a lot, even though we did it all in about an hour and a half, more or less. Because I had more time to actually read the thing and focus on it, because I had the Amiibos doing my dirty work. There's a great video about how to make an Amiibo, and it's Mega Man, and it's Buttman, and that's funny, man. Just having a flashback. I don't know. I mean, the DLC could be anything. It would be funny if they did like we have the Fighters Pass. If they did a Microsoft Fighters Pass, Banjo, Master Chief, Steve, Cuphead, and maybe Ori Pori Pudding and Pie. I think it'd just be those three. A smaller fighter. But, you know, we need that Let Sakurai Rest pass. We do. But I'm going off on tirades at this point. That's coming Nintendo Direct sooner or later. We'll see. Yeah. It was interesting. It's weird to actually use these suckers. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.